The Aussie fig tree is looking a little healthier after some rain, having previously lost a lot of leaves during a hot dry spell a few weeks ago, thanks to yours truly not staying on top of his watering duties. In the fig tree nation, the war continues, and the reaction of the world in recent days was to file charges against Israel's Prime Minister and Defense Minister in an international court, meaning that they can't visit certain European countries or they will be arrested. It's clear who Israel is at war against, as no charges have ever been filed in this court against the perpetrators of the massacre which started this war. But let's look at this 1,260-day timeline. Could it be that the modern state of Israel could come to an abrupt end in the near future, beginning the 1,260-day period prophesied in Revelation 11 and 12? Are they even the same period, has been a question I have always asked. I think they are, but some might disagree. Anyway, the hypothesis being floated by some watchmen is that if Israel can't last more than 80 years, will there be a 1,260-day period preceding May 14, 2028, which effectively becomes the first half of the 7-year tribulation? As you can see from the day count, that 1,260-day period would begin on December 1, 2024. Interestingly, although that's a new month on the Gregorian calendar, it's the last day of the 8th month on the Jewish calendar. I have theorized that Psalm 124 points to a 2024 rapture, just as does Matthew 24. Psalm 124 has 8 verses, whereas Matthew 24 has 51 verses. Could it be that the rapture will happen on the last day of the 8th month of 2024, but also on the last day of the 48th week? Matthew 24 verse 48 to 51 speaks of an evil servant who begins to beat his fellow servants because he believes his master has delayed his coming, but then his master returns at a time he is not expecting. Could it be that Jesus will return just as the world thinks it has a reprieve, and that we can carry on business as usual for a few more years? It's interesting to note that if we use the chapter for a year and verse for a week theory, the last verse in the book of Matthew is Matthew 28 verse 20, a verse where Jesus speaks of the end of the age. That is the verse that correlates with the 20th week of 2028, which contains the date I mentioned earlier, May 14, 2028. Coincidence? There are no coincidences in the Word of God, that I can say for sure. How about this coincidence? On week 45 of 2024, the 45th President of the United States was re-elected, and presumably will become the 47th President on January 20, 2025. I am speculating that something may happen in the 47th week to change that, the most obvious possibility being that the current 46th president will either step down or pass away, making his vice president the 47th president for a short time and making the 45th president the 48th president in January. Confused? Don't worry, it may not happen. We can't always predict how these things will play out. We can only watch and wait and see what happens. Any discussion of rapture dates, as I always say, is not a prophecy or prediction, it's just speculation and may not come to pass. Please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and if the Lord doesn't tarry, see you on the other side.